Well, that's exactly what has happened. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have given their communications team the boot, blaming them for a series of recent PR humiliations.
Shed a tear for poor Meghan Markle. There the delighted Duchess was, all set to steal the King's limelight, and then, suddenly, dramatically, she was stripped of the chance. Damn!
We want privacy! We want privacy!
Whatever the hell that means, perhaps she'll take solace in her own expanding opportunities.
She is a malignant narcissist.
Get a job, Meghan. Fake it till you make it. Harry and Meghan are their own worst enemies.
This is a disaster. This is a flop.
You're in America now, and we don't give a shit about you.
Unlike for Harry and Meghan, who yet again seem to have axed their entire staff body.
Just when Montecito's morning mist should have smelled like citrus and quiet success, an icy shockwave ripped through Meghan Markle's glass-walled HQ. Forget negative press or creative differences. Ex-staffers say Meghan Markle's mass firings exploded the moment a leaked South Park script landed on her desk.
Babe, time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post for Del Taco.
I shouldn't have left the made-up nonsense.
That's right, nothing says that you're impossible to work for a bit of a ball ache and an axe grinder than constantly cycling through various members of staff like hot dinners.
The Montecito revolving door just spun off its hinges. 6 key aides, 2 top spokesmen, a social media lead, and multiple support staff are out. And insiders insist it wasn't because of sluggish sales or clashing strategies. It was the rumored South Park Respect Our Pregnancy parody that pushed Meghan over the edge.
It has been several months now since our beloved Queen has died. Our Canadians are finding it hard to go on. All Canadians, that is, except for our first guest, the Prince and his wife.
And after the comedy of errors that was American Riviera Orchard and the ongoing chaos of Manic Meg's scam jam car crash as ever, perhaps caution is called for here.
According to one blunt exit memo, the Duchess demanded a full-court press to smother the cartoon leak. When the team couldn't guarantee success, she pulled the trigger. Now, with her brand and freefall and Netflix reportedly concerned, the question isn't why the staff left. It's how Meghan plans to fend off a satire machine that never backs down.
I feel like the focus is starting to shift off of me. Maybe in editing you'll fix it.
I thought we were moving forward, Meghan. Well, we're not.
So it seems to me they're resorting to becoming basically a version of the royal Kardashians. We can't wait for it.
From dawn onward, Montecito's inner circle swears the atmosphere felt less like a lifestyle startup and more like a corporate coup. Slack pings popped like popcorn as the leaked storyboard traveled through private channels faster than Kris Jenner's latest marketing scheme. One junior coordinator claims the Duchess's personal assistant sprinted down the main hallway clutching a freshly printed script, shouting for "legal, now." Within 20 minutes, the comms director's calendar turned to gray, an ominous indicator that his account had vanished. Another aide, staring at her frozen email, discovered the HR portal now read, "Access revoked," and a courier was already en route to collect her badge. Sources say the carnage continued in 10-minute waves as IT remotely locked laptops before owners could even download personal files. By late morning, parking attendants watched a parade of SUVs roll out with cardboard, boxes stacked against tinted windows. Onlookers caught a glimpse of partially shredded press kits and half-drafted crisis statements poking from the top flap, souvenirs of a strategy that never launched.
That's fine, I'll go it alone, just like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
It's that mocking, mimicking, disrespectful way that she does everything in her life.
The final blow? An all-staff email sent from Meghan's executive account. No greeting, no sign-off containing just 8 words. Return all devices to security by noon. Thanks. And with that, Montecito's once-envied PR brain trust dissolved into the coastal fog, leaving only rumor, resentment, and a vacancy sign flashing behind the Duchess's polished front gate. The storyboard leak hit the internet like a depth charge, detonating first on a tiny South Park fan subreddit at 2:43 a.m. A grainy frame of an animated Meghan adjusting a foam baby bump while a red-haired prince fussed with a clipboard labeled "Empowerment Lighting" Take 97. Within 13 minutes, the image jumped to X, then ricocheted to TikTok, where creators stitched it to Meghan's real pregnancy reel, scoring the mashup with Carnival Calliope. Back in Montecito, a night owl social assistant watching trending tags woke the crisis channel with a single all-caps ping. Cartoon has landed. Staff say Meghan was on a red-eye back from New York, scrolling her phone mid-turbulence when she saw the clip and uttered the one syllable that freezes aides in place. Fix. The decree triggered what insiders now call the blackout hour.
It's so funny, too, that you keep calling me Meghan. You know, it's Meghan now.
And how negative, I mean, how toxic must this workplace be to burn through so many people and accomplish so little?
People were saying meh. It's not meh. It's pronounced me. The H is silent.
Phones rang like fire alarms as comms officers drafted takedown requests, flagged copyright bots, and begged platform reps for emergency intervention. According to one exit memo, a London-based consultant warned the scramble was futile. Parody screenshots fall under fair use, and any heavy-handed removal only courts the Streisand curse. Meghan allegedly shot back, "We pay for solutions, not disclaimers," then ordered a 5 a.m. Zoom so every team could present a containment plan. Slides due in 60 minutes, no excuses. Halfway through the call, the social media lead admitted the meme had already seeded on decentralized mirrors. "You'd need to unplug the internet," she sighed. Witnesses claim Meghan's expression went from determined to lethal. By sunrise, legal counsel delivered the verdict no Duchess wants to hear. Parody is practically invincible on U.S. soil. Cease and desist letters would be laughed at, and even a notice of concern might leak and turbocharge the buzz. That's when, sources swear, Meghan lowered her voice and murmured the sentence that sealed her staff's fate. "If we can't bury the joke, we bury the people who let it breathe." Moments later, HR began pulling termination templates from the cloud. Screens went black, keycards beeped dead, and the Montecito compound braced for the collateral fallout of a joke no shutdown order could kill. Boxes stacked in foyers, security badges clattering into stainless steel bowls. Montecito looked less like a palatial HQ and more like the last day of summer camp, minus the tear-stained hugs.
So I went online to see what was new with Uncle Harry and Auntie Meghan, and I couldn't find a thing. I would have thought she'd have at least popped up in a tampon commercial by now.
Uncharacteristically for a self-styled entrepreneur who specializes in copying everyone else, the hotel thing is a relatively fresh idea. But take a tip from me, your ladyship, don't do it.
According to a scorchingly candid exit memo that leaked within hours, departing aides were handed severance packets the thickness of phone books, 30-page NDAs, clauses forbidding even emoji commentary, and a reminder that breach fees start at the price of a small coastal bungalow. One comms veteran reportedly snorted at the paperwork, muttering, "If silence is worth this much, imagine what the story's actually worth," before sliding the envelope into her tote and marching out under the citrus trees. Yet not everyone waited for pink slips. Two mid-level coordinators allegedly ghosted HR first, yanking personal files from iCloud at 3 a.m. and leaving nothing but a Slack status that read, "Out of office indefinitely." Their friends claimed they'd grown weary of jam and parody, whiplash, drafting empathy statements 1 hour, blackout threats the next, only to see every plan eviscerated by meme culture before lunch. One source close to the social lead says she typed a single sign-off line, "Good luck outrunning South Park," then hit and vanished. Laptop courier already buzzing her gate code. Still, palace-trained traditionalists insist the exodus was a firing spree in all but name. They point to the meeting where devices were seized on the spot, Zoom IDs deactivated mid-sentence, and a junior aide forced to finish her slide deck on her phone because her MacBook locked itself while she spoke. This wasn't attrition, claims a senior PR insider who survived the call by sheer luck of time zone. It was decapitation, quick, surgical, and meant to scare anyone who thought of leaking Plan B. The fallout? Industry recruiters now whisper about a Montecito clause, advising applicants to budget legal fees into salary demands before crossing the Duchess's threshold.
And everyone does reality TV now, so don't worry about this being a step down for me because it's not.
I wasn't until you just said it.
Plus, it's a really good platform to promote my brand.
What is your brand?
Oh, I don't know. I'll think of some piece of crap.
I don't know, launch a Grenfell cookbook, make a podcast, have a series on Netflix, set up a charity. None of that stuff has worked. They've been damn hopeless at everything.
Meanwhile, rival tabloids are dangling 7-figure checks for any diary entries that slipped through IT's dragnet. But here's the poisonous riddle swirling through tech channels tonight. Did the aides bolt first, forcing Meghan to slam the guillotine? Or did she swing the blade so fast the victims never had a chance to jump? Either way, a squad once touted as her dream PR cavalry has ridden off, and the next battle looms with no shields left standing. The Duchess didn't leave the Montecito throne room vacant for long. By midday, delivery vans marked Psyops Media, the boutique agency rumored to have storyboarded Meghan's viral pregnancy twerk reel, rolled up the gravel drive. Their calling card? A neon pink pitch deck titled Flip the Script. Weaponize the laugh. Sources claim the firm's reel boasts Kardashian crisis recoveries, a pop star's deodorant launch that began as a meme, and 3 political campaigns that would rather remain nameless. Their motto, splashed across slide 1, reads, "If you can't delete the clip, make it dance for you." Inside, the newcomers unpacked ring lights, mood boards, and a wall-sized content calendar already blocked out with color-coded phases. Tease, mock back, monetize. Phase 1 reportedly drops a snark-laden Instagram reel. Animated jam jars wearing tiny crowns belt a gospel hook. Respect our recipe, while cartoon drones slap fair use stamps over South Park stills. The plan: flood TikTok with remix-friendly audio so fans duet the jars and drown out the original parody algorithmically. Phase 2, a limited edition Jam Not Shame bundle set to launch within 24 hours of the episode.
My question is for Meghan. Meghan, besides holder of briefcase 24 on Deal or No Deal, what do you think your most impactful role was?
She's so out of touch. She's so missed the mark, Markle.
Complete with QR codes linking to a maternal health charity page, percentage donation TBD. Phase 3 is the Moonshot, a live YouTube watch party where influencers rate satire versus real brand values, essentially turning Meghan into commentator of her own roast. The price tag for this chaos alchemy allegedly starts at $750,000 plus 12% of any commerce spike. Finance winced. Brand veterans gasped. Yet Meghan, say 2 witnesses, grinned at the deck's outro slide, a cartoon tiara spinning into a TikTok logo, then murmured, "At least they fight." One remaining senior advisor tried to float concerns. Animated jam jars could trivialize the product's slow luxury ethos. Pairing charity with a clapback might smell opportunistic. The PSYOP's creative director waved a manicured hand. "Luxury's what you tell the algorithm it is, darling." Cue an audible eye roll from the last palace-trained comms aide, who later texted a friend, "We've traded Windsor polish for TikTok glitter cannons." Whether glitter trumps satire is anyone's guess, but by sunset, Montecito's pristine lawns were dotted with ring light halos, and a new mantra echoed through the halls. Don't bury the joke, remix it till it pays rent. Netflix's alignment sync was booked as a half-hour touch base and instead mushroomed into a 2-hour slog of red flag slides and awkward silences. According to a source dialed in from Culver City, the very first graphic showed a plunging red line under the header brand volatility index, numbers pulled from real-time sentiment trackers that had never been kind to the Sussex brand, but now looked like an elevator cable in freefall. Merchandising leads asked whether every jar of his ever product appearing in With Love, Meghan Season 2 could be digitally relabeled generic fruit spread until the satire storm passed. An agent on speaker suggested pushing the entire season to Q1 for audience breathing room, only to be reminded that ad inventory for the holiday quarter was already sold and billed. The debate ricocheted between legal's cautionary, no defamation here, but plenty of reputational drag, and finance's hard math. If viewers start laughing in scenes meant to inspire slow-living serenity, expect churn.
You never had a dream when you were a child to be something everyone else said was impossible? Like an astronaut, or prime minister, or masseur?
I wanted to be a princess.
Oh, well, you kind of fucked that up.
Prince Harry, though, has become the punchline of a Saturday Night Live joke. Let's have a look.
NBC has announced plans for a spin-off to the hit series Suits, which will be set in Los Angeles. It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant.
Down the call sheet, a public relations liaison from Hello magazine noted that cover story scheduling was now temporarily paused, pending clarity on future optics. People, Vanity Fair, even a mid-tier lifestyle quarterly that once championed Meghan's Strawberry. Preserves reportedly yanked photo slots, fearing any fresh shoot could age badly overnight. One editor likened the risk to printing a glossy portrait next to a headline we can't control. Brand partners felt the chill too. An eco-retailer that had pre-bought a quarter-page New York Times ad for the autumn restock requested a hold citing unpredictable brand weather. A boutique wellness chain in Austin asked for the right to return unsold stock if social sentiment didn't rebound by October. And a West Coast influencer agency quietly removed As Ever from its affiliate dashboard, replacing it with a competitor's lavender honey that hasn't trended for all the wrong reasons. Then came the email that sucked every ounce of oxygen from the Zoom. A senior streaming executive, copying only the top brass, wrote a single line, "Is this the day we freeze deliverables?" No answer appeared on screen, but the sudden hush said plenty. Meghan's team left the meeting watching their production schedule dangle like a chandelier on frayed wire, knowing one more meme cycle could persuade the world's biggest streamer to hit pause on everything. The compound that once felt like a Zen retreat now crackles with the tension of a control room on launch day. Security guards have doubled their rotations, prowling the perimeter with earpieces glued to scanners that hiss updates about drone sightings overhead. Paparazzi models so small they can hover unnoticed over the citrus groves. According to one housekeeper, the backdrive now hosts a line of black SUVs idling at all hours, their drivers unsure whether to stay engine hot or stand down. Inside, the Duchess's executive wing hums with an anxious energy usually reserved for election night. Whiteboards streaked with half-erased timelines, ring lights stacked like barricades, and a bone-tired assistant lugging yet another case of alkaline water to fuel marathon strategy calls. Harry, say multiple staffers, has abandoned his usual dawn surf routine. Instead, he paces the lawn in running shoes, phone pressed to his ear, whispering furiously about optics, not outcome.
Lisa Rinna, so nice to see you again.
We've never met.
Oh, why do I feel like I know you?
Well, I've been on TV for 50 years, so maybe it's that.
Well, this is after we were informed that they were hiring this team of 11 and that they were going to try to almost have their own little royal court and craft things differently.
One witness claims he rang an old Kensington Palace aide at 3 a.m. London time, asking whether a brief statement might cool things off. The answer, Palace protocol forbids comment on satire, left him staring across the Pacific, fists clenched at his sides. Later, he was seen jogging tight circles around the fountain, earbuds blasting a mindfulness podcast that could barely drown the low buzz of a drone passing overhead. Back in the comms bunker, the sole remaining social strategist refreshes sentiment dashboards every 5 minutes, watching the red bar creep lower. She prepares 2 caption drafts for every planned post, one jokey, one solemn, because direction changes hourly. A printed note taped to her monitor reads, DEFCON, trending. At the far end of the corridor, operations managers juggle freight quotes for a possible emergency pop-up tour, their spreadsheets pulsing with surge pricing because vendors smell panic. Even routine household rhythms feel warped. The private chef cancels a farmer's market run after spotting long-lens photographers at the gate. A yoga instructor reschedules sessions to dusk, hoping twilight shadows cloak her arrival. And through it all, phone alarms punctuate the hallways. Reminders to monitor South Park teaser drops, track influencer reactions, and flag any new hashtag that might ignite before lunch. One aide likens the atmosphere to living in a siege with artisanal snacks, a quip that earns a wan smile, then silence. Everyone knows that when a single cartoon can shake the ground this hard, the next aftershock is only a meme away. Across the Atlantic, Buckingham's press office has adopted the most strategic posture in its arsenal, cathedral silence. Publicly, aides repeat the standard line, no comment on commercial ventures. Privately, courtiers are treating the Montecito purge as confirmation of every whispered fear about management by meltdown. One senior figure allegedly told a Fleet Street confidant, "We expected turbulence, but this is a hurricane that won't leave our shipping lanes." Behind the smirk is calculation. Every Sussex headline about staff carnage nudges royal scandals off the front page, giving Charles's cancer-era calendar a little breathing room.
We are screwed.
Wait, what about your ketchup company?
That was a dumb idea.
Then what are we going to do? Can you get another show? I mean, not one that you act on, darling. I know people don't want to hire you for that anymore, but...
Well, HGTV did call my agents last week about us, but at the time I thought we were too good for them.
I don't think Meghan likes interviewing people. I think she'd prefer to talk about herself.
According to Palace Chatter, an internal memo now advises senior royals to maintain courteous distance until the South Park episode airs, diplomatic code for let the Duchess twist in a wind of her own making. Hollywood's verdict is harsher and far less polite. A partner at an elite publicity firm says the Sussex brand has slid onto their informal cobalt list, clients so volatile they require hazard pay before any red carpet alignment. One A-list actress who once vacationed with Meghan quietly pulled out of a panel discussion on women in leadership, citing schedule conflict. Industry insiders translate, no one wants their empowerment soundbite spliced next to animated mockery in endless reaction videos. A veteran talent manager leaked a group chat snippet in which agents debated whether it's safer to pitch clients for reality dating shows than for a Sussex collaboration. At least The Bachelor doesn't fire you for memes, quipped one. Streaming rivalries are sharpening knives too. An Amazon Studios development exec, never known for subtlety, allegedly told colleagues, if Netflix freezes her docu deal, we're not the rescue squad. In other words, the Duchess's leverage in bidding wars evaporates with every staff casualty and every meme ticker. Even lifestyle retailers are reading the room. One upscale candle brand yanked plans for a holiday influencer box, warning wholesalers that social risk premiums just doubled. Yet the most biting commentary arrives nightly from talk show monologues. In Los Angeles, a late-night host opened with, when even your PR team quits mid-crisis, that's like your hairstylist bailing halfway through the perm. The gag landed, the audience roared, and clip shares spiked. Another echo chamber Meghan can't control. For the palace, the laughter is distant thunder. For Hollywood, it's a caution siren. And for Montecito, it's the soundtrack of influence contracting, one punchline at a time. The strategy wall is no longer a neat grid of pastel post-its. It's a battlefield map peppered with coffee rings and half-erased arrows. A lone desk lamp throws a harsh cone of light across 3 decisive columns.
Sir, your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
The financial outlay involved in establishing a chain of Meg-ins would be astronomical. The wildly ambitious Ms. Markle has got everything to lose. And if she decides to become Celebrity Land's answer to the Hilton, lose everything, she probably will.
Someone has scrawled the deadline in red grease pencil at the top. Execute by Friday or be executed. Scenario 1. Turn the joke into juice. PsyOps calls this the Own It pivot. Their pitch deck opens with a freeze frame of Meghan popping a jam lid, mid-eye roll, while voiceover deadpans. 45 minutes? Sweetheart, that was just the warm-up. The 30-second spot ends on her tossing South Park sketches into a compost bin labeled New Flavor, Fertile Soil. Early panel testing splits the room. Gen Z focus groups howl, legacy donors blanch. Finance warns the move could electrify sales or fossilize the brand in meme amber. Risk tag on the board, comedy roulette. Scenario 2, wrap the brand in halo light. The lone palace-trained advisor pushes the virtue buffer. Draft headlines circulate, why pregnancy parody still stings in 2025. The plan, launch a solidarity campaign funding mobile birthing clinics, $1 per jar redirected to rural counties. A short film would pair nurse testimonials with slow-motion honey drizzles, the parody silhouettes blurred behind watermarking lines. Lawyers nod at the feel-good optics. Skeptics hiss that critics will frame it as emotional blackmail. Risk tag, halo or hollow. Scenario 3, scorch, salt, and start over. Finance favors the doomsday option nicknamed Project Phoenix. Shut down as ever before airtime, settle invoices, and winter in silence. Re-emerge next spring as M, the collective. No jam, no tiaras, just muted earth tones, rosé bottles, and wellness retreats where cell phones sleep in silk pouches. Venture capitalists wave tentative term sheets on condition the Duchess crest retires forever. Meghan studied the prototype logo, an austere serif M, and reportedly murmured, if the crown disappears, so does the fairy tale. Risk tag, identity severance. Asterisks dot every margin, legal caveats, supply chain penalties, influencer renegotiations. At the bottom corner, someone writes the blunt truth. All roads bleed. Pick the smallest wound. Phones buzz, pens stop, and the silence feels like a drawn breath before a verdict. 48 hours remain to decide which future gets funded and which version of Meghan Markle survives the broadcast. Countdown clocks rarely feel this loud. Paramount still hasn't released a single frame to the public. No teaser, no poster, not even a sly press note. But that silence hasn't stopped a leak-fed frenzy.
Dad, do you have any cash for a cab? Oh, look, Grandma's on the money. I never noticed that before.
I mean, they're basically the same thing, aren't they? But one lot had famous guests, whereas now no one likes her, so they have to have unfamous guests.
Industry newsletters whisper that an internal test clip is making the rounds in confidential focus rooms, featuring an animated hospital corridor and a red-headed prince shouting, "More sparkle!" The description alone is being memed into infinity. Within 90 minutes, TikTok creators grafted the rumor onto old South Park stills. adding their own subtitles and pitching it as the clip Paramount won't show you. Hashtag Bumpgate surged back into the top 3 worldwide. More ominous, hashtag Respect Our Parody spiked again, proof the original outrage never fully cooled. Inside Montecito, legal's latest notice of concern sits unsigned after outside counsel warned that sending it would only validate the rumors and hand South Park fresh punchlines. Comms drafted a softer note. We celebrate free speech but reject body shaming. Then, shelved it when sentiment software predicted another meme spike. PsyOps proposes a preemptive reel, jam jars wearing tiny crowns sliding into frame with the caption, "When they won't drop the trailer, drop the jam." Meghan hesitates. Test comments call the concept lukewarm goop. Decision postponed. Platforms aren't waiting. One media buy dashboard has already flagged as ever ads for manual review, citing heightened controversy. Influencer contracts now carry opt-outs upon release of any satirical content. Even payment processor risk teams ping finance. Volume spikes tied to rumor-driven hate sharing can trip fraud buffers, meaning a successful restock might be throttled at checkout. Harry's anxiety goes tactile. Staff spot him gripping a foam stress ball shaped like a crown, squeezing until his knuckles whiten. He floats the idea of a surprise Invictus update to drown the chatter. Publicists warn piggybacking wounded veterans onto brand defense could misfire. A nighttime jog turns frantic when drones buzz overhead. The security chief calls for coverage, and the household locks down. Every laptop in the war room displays the same timer, white digits on black, ticking toward Saturday's broadcast. Each silent tick echoes a shared dread. That a single animated punchline, still unseen, might calcify into cultural shorthand the moment it airs. Another aide mutters what none will say on record. If the rumors alone shake us this hard, imagine the actual episode. The timer blinks, unblinking. Dawn before broadcast. No new staff to shield, no embargo left to break. Just a Duchess, a prince, and cameras they cannot control. The ring lights in the content studio stay dark, waiting for orders. Meghan paces between the 3 whiteboarding walls, fingertips grazing bullet points that read like divergent biographies. She stops at the one bold question penned in red. Who are we after the cartoon? Outside, birdsong mingles with a distant hum of generators. Crew prepping, just in case she chooses option A and goes live. If she doubles down on self-deprecating, charm, and lands the joke, she could emerge the comeback queen. Proof a Duchess can take a punch and still command a checkout cart. If she rallies virtue and ties jam to charity, cynics will jeer, but partners might applaud the pivot. And if she torches as ever for good, the next brand begins as a blank page. Yet history may record this week as the moment Meghan's royal aura dissolved into a Malibu sunset. For Harry, the stakes feel deeper than marketing arcs. Another global punchline cements the perception of a prince adrift, coaching a bump in endless takes while the palace maintains granite poise. Should the laughter swell, every future Invictus speech starts with a silent meme reel looping in the audience's heads. So now the spotlight swings to you. Do the mass firings prove Meghan is finally assembling a team that can fight satire with savvy? Or are they proof her brand is bleeding talent faster than any crisis guru can plug the wound? And if South Park's parody drops exactly as rumored, will it persuade you to clap back with your wallet or close the tab forever? Drop your verdict below, pound that subscribe button, and stay tuned. The next leak is loading, and trust me, you won't believe what's coming next.